Whoa! That's my first reaction to this episode. It was so amazing. Hands down, a great opener. So, hello, I'm the Dynamic Yoga, and welcome to my review for the Season 9 opener, The Magician's Apprentice. And this is the first time I'm reviewing an episode right after it premiered, so that's great. Now, before I begin, wow, my mind was blown. This is how you open a series opener or season or whatever. It was just so amazing. So, okay. Wow! Even the opener was amazing. We begin at this war. Like when I first saw these planes with laser, these World War I type planes, along with people with bow and arrows. I thought this could be like a different war. I thought that maybe this is World War I because of these planes. But when it shot lasers out, I thought it was like some kind of sci-fi war. But it turns out it was the Thor's and Khalid's war. Like, that's something I didn't see coming. Like, I just thought because it looks so different from how Genesis portrayed the war. That's why I didn't think of it. I know when this kid ran out, these hand things or hand mines, and they were so creepy when they just risen out of the ground and just pulled some guy trying to help this kid down. That's something amazing. Like, wow. And when the doctor's trying to help this kid, he asks him his name, and he replies, Davros. And the rumors were true. This was a young Davros. Wow. Now, out of everything, when I first heard this rumor, I wasn't thinking this was true. Then when we saw the trailers, I began to think, could this be true? But now, wow, I can't believe the rumors were true this time. And I liked how the doctor well, we don't see him leaving yet, but we find out he did leave this young Davros later on the episode. And yes, like, he's one of the Doctor's worst enemies. And I can admit, like, if I knew this kid would grow up and right now he's in danger, like this kid who would grow up to become this dictator, this madman, I would have left him too. Like I might have thought about it, but I don't think I would be able to go and help this person. I could be saving a lot of lives. And the Doctor also thought about this and just left. He knew that Davros was not going to die because he has history with Davros. So we go to modern day. Actually, no, we go to different planets. We go to this alien ball that contains Ood and Hath and a bunch of other creatures, where this man, I forgot his name. I hate this when I forgot someone's name. Let's just call him Snake. We have the alien snake hybrid walking into there and ask where the Doctor is, and no one replies. Like, I remember reading about this creature that was made out of snakes, and I thought it was just going to be some kind of creature. I never thought that guy from the trailer was the Snake. And it turns out he was created by Davros. Like, we don't know what happened to him near the end of the episode, but I'm sure he will be in Part 2, The Witch's Familiar. Then, after we leave the alien ball, we head to the Shadow Proclamation, and we have the same person who was in charge of the Shadow Proclamation in Stolen Earth back, reprising her role. And we also see a Jadoon. Like, that's something we haven't seen for a while, the Shadow Proclamation, because they were so heavily in the first 4 seasons. We kept on hearing about them, till we met their goons. And then we finally got to visit this Shadow Proclamation. Now that's nice to see this happening, see these old locations reappear. Then we head to Khan and we have Ola, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and the snake person tells her that he is looking for the Doctor. And right now, this is a good way to open a series, with showing familiar stuff to the viewers to know. But if you're new coming to the show, you might get a bit confused. So I wouldn't recommend this watching this without a friend that knows everything he or she talks about Doctor Who. So another thing I really liked was how they introduced Clara and Missy back into the series. We have, like, right now, planes are frozen in the sky, and they are like giant matches ready to set a flame, because these planes are frozen in time, but they can still be activated. They can still burst into flames if someone does ignite the gas to put them all up into flames. And we find, so Unit contacts Clara because they can't get a hold of the Doctor, so they think Clara would be the next best option. So they get Clara, and we see the return of Kate Stewart. She doesn't feature a lot in this episode. She's kind of just there just to have a familiar face. Now it turns out that Missy, aka the Mistress, aka the Master, is behind this. Now, when I thought about this, I didn't think it was going to be the Master, to be honest, when I first read the summary. But how they explain it, like, she's just holding a bunch of hostages, and how Clara describes the way why the planes are frozen is like she wants to meet with someone, because it's like holding a gun to someone's head and just wanting to talk to them, make them listen. That's the only way you get them to listen. So Missy and Clara meet up with Unit, hang back to make sure Missy doesn't do anything. She starts killing off people and threatens Clara, but Clara tells that she called her here for a reason, and if she gets killed, then that reason would not be any good. So we find out why Missy has contacted Clara is because the Doctor is dying. He's going to, because Missy received this Gallifreyan disc that is like a data slice, I think they called it. And it's like a whale. So she knows the Doctor is about to go to his death, and needs Clara because she's one of the persons that know the Doctor best besides her. And Clara's a bit shocked that disc isn't for her, because Missy said it was for the Doctor's friends, and how she says that the Doctor and her go back a long time. They are the best of friends. They know each other longer. And compared to her, Clara's just a pet for the Doctor. And now there's something I just want to say, just to bring up. Missy says an interesting line. And that line is, "I knew the Doctor when he was a little girl." Now this line could mean like, what, there's another Doctor? But I think she's just lying, because we did see a young boy in Listen that was the Doctor, so this was probably a joke. Just probably for those people who want a female Doctor, which I'm not against, by the way. Just want to put that out. I'm not against for a female Doctor. I'm okay with the female Doctor. And soon they find a location in time where the Doctor is. So Missy uses vortex uses her portable time machine. I'm just not bothered to mention the full name. And they arrived in 1113 AD. And the way the Doctor enters is so fun. Like, we see the character from the Doctor's meditation, and like, he's holding an axe. He thinks this is going to be like an axe fight. And how the Doctor enters is so fun. He's playing a guitar, and he enters on a tank. It's just so fun. I really enjoyed that scene. I actually laughed. And Then the snake guy who's working for Davros, like this gets revealed at the beginning of the episode, I forgot to mention. He's seeking the doctor because Davros is dying and arrives in 1113 after following the doctor's friends to find him. And he gets the doctor to agree to meet Davros, and he takes Missy and Clara with them. And this scene, the next scene, is so sad because I really like that character, Boz. He was a good character that I really enjoyed in the prequel, and it's so sad to see him as a Dalek servant with the eye stalk. That was just so sad. I really enjoyed that character in the prequel. We're probably not going to see him again. So next we arrive at the space station, and the doctor is taken to see Davros while Clara and Missy are waiting in the stair. And Missy, after the doctor tells Missy gravity, she puts it together that the gravity here is too perfect. It's like a planet's gravity, not artificial gravity. So they open an airlock that is really a part of this planet. I'll get back to this, but my favorite scene in this episode will have to be when Davros and the Doctor come face to face. That scene was just so amazing. We saw some past clips of how each of the Doctor interacted. We hear clips from Genesis, Remembrance of the Daleks. I think we also hear clips from Resurrection and Revelation. I'm not so sure, but we did see clips. And we also hear some lines from Stolen Earth where David Tennant is talking to Davros. That's amazing. But the biggest part of this episode was that line where Davros shows the Doctor the scene from Genesis where he said, if you knew a child was going to grow up as a dictator, will you have it in you to kill that child? And that was so amazing. I also like how these two talk. Something I thought was missing from Stolen Earth. A great beginning to an episode, the second part failed. To be honest, wait a sec, we never found out how Davros escaped. That'd probably a skateboard. Red question, if you want to be like that, how did he escape Remembrance all the time, or... Actually, no, they gave... Never mind. Let's just keep with the review. And I like how these two talk. Like I said, we didn't get that with the other episode he was in. I missed that part because the scenes where these two characters talk are some of the most interesting scenes throughout the series. Even in the first episode of Davros, he was so that two scenes were two scientists talking together, saying what they thought of the Daleks, and how Davros says he doesn't regret making the Daleks. He's proud of that. It's just so amazing. And the music, I have to admit, you couldn't even tell there was music. And this is not a bad thing. This is good because I don't want loud music making a scene so dramatic when it doesn't have to. I like background music that is good, but you can't hear it's there. And that's a good thing for me. It keeps you into the story. And this story was just amazing. Back with Clara and Missy, we found out that they're on Scarlet. And unlike what it looked like from Asylum, they rebuilt Scarlet. And they did a good job. They actually recreated the city from the Daleks. And I thought it looked amazing. And we have a 1960 Dalek actually talking, and he takes them to the room with the Time War Daleks, the Genesis Daleks, the Special Weapons Dalek. I was so glad to see that. That was just amazing. But we never saw any Paradigm Daleks. I don't know what happened to them. And now, like, this is so good. And how Missy tries to side with the Daleks, telling her that they don't, like, they're going to destroy the TARDIS. And how she's like, well, you see, without me, like, you could use this TARDIS to destroy all of time and space. And the only thing you're missing is a time lady. And then they just exterminate her on the spot without even thinking about it. And then they just exterminate Clara. These two characters are dead. Like, they're probably not, but right now, they're dead. And to see the Doctor's reaction is just amazing. These two, he known for a very long time. The Master used to be his best friend. Then who turned evil, but he still cares for the Master because they have this history. That, like, she's like his own sister. That's what the Master means. Like, the Master's family to the Doctor, I bet. But so is Clara. Like, when she's exterminated, right before she gets exterminated, he begs to Davros to let her go. He's on his knees. He's begging. And they just exterminate her. And this is where I think that's breaking point for this Doctor. Because the next scene, we go back to a young Davros where the 12th Doctor just left. And now you have the 12th Doctor returns with a Dalek gun. And he's prepared to kill Davros. And that's how the episode ends, on that cliffhanger. Overall, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10. That's how good this episode was. I really can't wait for the Witch's Familia. I can't wait to see what they do with the Daleks, because now they're at full force and you don't have to set up anything for the next episode. And where the Doctor actually killed Davros. Well, I will be back here next Saturday reviewing episode 2, The Witch's Familia. I'm the Dynamic Do-Over. Till next time.